Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Investigators released the names of 2 people killed in Rockford over the weekend. We'll update you on the search for who's responsible for the separate attacks. Add Christmas to the list of holidays disrupted by the COVID pandemic. While some people say their traditions won't change much, health experts across the country and locally say the best Christmas gift you can give your family is to keep your distance. And for some of us, waiting until the last minute to track down Christmas gifts is a tradition. Shoppers tell us COVID is actually an inspiration to hit the stores maybe a little more than usual. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. We now know the names of the victims killed in a pair of weekend Rockford shootings. The first happened around 1 Sunday afternoon on Broadway near South 6th Street. Police found Benny Johnson there. The 29-year-old had been shot more than once. He died at the hospital. Sunday night, 56-year-old Marcus Mayweather was shot and killed. It happened around 8 on Teal Lane, that's near North Rockton and Riverside. Mayweather died at the hospital. No word on a suspect in either of these cases, but investigators say they are not related. Rockford police say they need the public's help bringing an accused killer to justice. Police are looking for this man. He's David Cooper. The 31-year-old is charged with first-degree murder. Early in the morning, September 26th, officers were called to Rock Street near South Park off South Main. They found Robert Davis in his car. He'd been shot several times. Davis died at the hospital. He was 39. Cooper is still on the loose. If you know where he is, call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers. Janesville Police need your help too. You're looking at 18-year-old Skylar Plouffe and 17-year-old Keegan McAdory. Plouffe is 6'2", 140 pounds. With brown hair and eyes. McAdory's 5'9", 160 with brown hair and hazel eyes. Early Monday evening, investigators say the pair forced their way into a Bouchard Avenue home. The teens allegedly threatened people inside with a gun and baseball bat. Plouffe and McAdory then reportedly took several items and damaged a TV and Christmas tree. Call Janesville Police or Crime Stoppers with any information. The past 24 hours sees more than 6,700 new cases of COVID-19 confirmed in Illinois. That pushes the total number of infections over 918,000. 135 people died. In all, COVID has claimed more than 15,500 lives. As of Tuesday night, more than 4,500 patients were in the hospital because of coronavirus. 953 of those were in intensive care. Just over half are on ventilators. Illinois' 7-day positivity rate now sits at 9%. Winnebago County Health Director Dr. Sandra Martell and Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara call on the community to stay home for the holidays. Instead of traveling, they suggest celebrating virtually. Dr. Martell says local COVID numbers are going in the right direction, but we still need to be cautious.
We want to move out of mitigations as a region with our other regions and the state. You know, we don't want to have a surging infection rate because, again, our hospitals are still in a very fragile situation. The hospitalizations have not gone down completely, but they have lessened.
Also announced this afternoon, Rockford's state-run community-based testing site is on the move in the new year. January 2nd, the UIC campus site on Parkview will relocate to the former Kmart near Sandy Hollow and 11th. We'll have more on that decision coming up at 6. Many people in the state line and across the nation will follow experts' medical advice to stay home this Christmas. Others say COVID won't keep them away from family. Some of them shared their plans with Ari Bruckman, while health professionals offer suggestions on how to celebrate the season safely.
I'm going to just one small little house for my grandparents.
Instead of getting together with like our whole extended family, we're just getting together with our immediate family.
Holidays are a time to be with family, but this year, doctors are asking people not to have large gatherings because of COVID. Just days before Christmas, many probably already have their plans in place. But the behavioral health director of OSF says there are ways to be together without being in the same room.
Maybe we can cook a family recipe together at the same time. Maybe we can all sing a Christmas carol, and if we have a teenager or someone who's gifted at splicing together videos, we can have a chorus of that same song that we all had that gives us the sense of being together.
Another idea is to celebrate your family holiday sometime next year, after people have gotten a vaccine and it's safer. With over 900,000 positive tests in Illinois, the state's top doctor says staying home this Christmas will save lives.
The best way to avoid another surge in hospitalizations, another surge in deaths, another surge in new infections is to celebrate the holidays at home with the family that you currently live with.
As Alize Jones tells me, he's taking all the precautionary measures to make sure he can spend this Christmas with his family.
For the most part, I know everybody in my family is not sick, so we probably have a small gathering, probably about 4 or 5 or 6 people, but not nothing really big because of the pandemic. But as long as everybody's safe and everybody's tested negative for COVID, then it doesn't matter. I want to have a great time with my family.
In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Ari Bruckman.
Some Illinois child care providers will get more help from the state. $20 million in federal CARES Act money will go to support the Child Care Assistance Program, or CCAP. The funds will cover payments for December, January, and February. CCAP helps low-income working families access child care. Centers have been hurt by low attendance, which means less revenue. If the state positivity rate stays below 9%, officials could return child care centers to full capacity later this month or early next year. About 100,000 kids benefit from CCAP every year. The Rockford Fire Department, with your help, wins the annual Battle of the Bells competition. It's a friendly rivalry every year between Rockford Fire and police. The departments see who can raise the most money for the Salvation Army. Due to COVID, the competition was held virtually. This is video from last year. Firefighters raised just over $1,000. Police have about $500 in donations. You can still donate. To do that, find the link over at mystateline.com. Area malls and shops were busy today with Christmas procrastinators looking for that perfect gift. From last-minute deals to busy schedules, shoppers had all kinds of reasons for waiting to hit the stores. Clothes seemed to be a popular buy for customers. Customers who talked with us at Cherryvale Mall tell us, like last-minute shopper Jalen Ponder, that giving means a little more during COVID.
It feels good to shop for other people just because right now everybody's at home and there's really nothing to do. So as long as you can make somebody else's day better, then it makes it work.
Cherryvale's open until 9 tonight and will be open on Christmas Eve from 8 to 5. Other stores throughout the area also have modified hours over the next couple of days. President-elect Joe Biden pledges to reopen schools as he introduces his pick for Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. He called the Connecticut Education Commissioner brilliant. Biden reiterated that reopening schools safely is a national priority for his administration. He says he plans to have most American schools back open by the end of his first 100 days in office. He did not give many details on how he'll do that, but said he will prioritize that educators get the COVID vaccines as soon as possible. The fate of the $900 billion COVID relief package Congress passed just days ago is now uncertain. The president just stopped short of threatening to veto it. Instead, demanded changes, including $2,000 stimulus checks. Raquel Martin is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
This is absolutely absurd.
Illinois Democratic Congresswoman Sherry Bustos says the president waited too long to weigh in on the COVID relief bill.
Every minute that he's playing these games is a delay from money getting into our economy, getting to families, getting to small businesses.
In a video posted to social media Tuesday, President Trump blasted the newly passed $900 billion COVID relief package.
It really is a disgrace.
He's demanding Congress amend the plan and increase the $600 stimulus payments to at least $2,000.
Now, after we send it to his desk, he all of a sudden wants to play Santa.
Democrats say they support sending Americans $2,000 payments, but say the president should sign the package on his desk.
Every minute counts.
In 3 days, federal unemployment benefits expire. And since COVID relief was tacked on to the government funding bill, the president could force the federal government to shut down before New Year's Day. Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley hopes it doesn't come to that.
I hope the president will sign the bill or let it go into law without his signature.
But he says $2,000 checks just won't work.
I don't think it is feasible.
Grassley insists money should go to Americans in need. But Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley, who pushed for higher payments, is siding with the president, tweeting, "Let's get it done." Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi says Democrats are willing to vote to increase the stimulus checks, but need Republicans to sign on.
So we'll see if they're willing to play ball.
In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Now your first warned weather forecast. with meteorologist Kevin Dew.
As a strong storm system has been moving through the state line, winds have been howling throughout the day. Here's a look at some of the highest recorded gusts so far today. 43-mile-an-hour gusts in Rockford, 49-mile-an-hour wind gusts recorded out in Galena. Much of the area is seeing wind gusts north of 40 miles an hour today. In fact, a wind advisory is in effect for all of the Illinois side of the state line. This is in effect until 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, and winds are still going strong out there. This is sustained wind speeds for the time being, north of around 20 to even 30 miles an hour in several areas. But whereas these winds were coming out of the south and southwest earlier today, pulling a lot of warmer air into the state line, a cold front then moved on through, and that shifted our winds to now come out of the west. Now it's pulling a lot of cooler air into the state line, which is why temperatures are really cooling off very quickly now. But before that cold front moved on through, temperatures made it into the lower 60s here in Rockford, upper 50s elsewhere, 60s as well in Sterling. In fact, this means that today was the warmest December 23rd on record here in Rockford. This beat the prior record of 59 degrees set back just 5 years ago in 2015, but temperatures have since fallen down to the 30s and 40s. Right now we're at 46 in Rockford, 46 as well in Rochelle, but the further west out you move, that's where the colder air lies because that's where it's coming from. 31 degrees currently out in Galena and 37 for current temperature out in Savannah. Let's zoom out a little bit, take a look at some temperatures across the region and get a better look at the influence this cold front's having on the region. Still at 54 in Chicago and 50 in Springfield. Now look to the west of this cold front, only 19 degrees right now out in Des Moines and 10 degrees currently up in Sioux Falls. So our temperatures still have a long way to drop here over the next several hours. Here's a live look over downtown Beloit using a Merciel SkyTrack, where we're seeing some mostly cloudy skies overhead for the time being, and of course some fairly breezy conditions as we just saw. We had a line of showers move through earlier this afternoon. Most of that rain though has now moved off to our east, so pretty much the entire state line is dry for the time being. The cloud cover really didn't want to make up its mind through the afternoon. We saw cloudy skies and clear skies all sort of come and go, but now most of the area is just seeing some variable cloud cover out there. If we zoom out, we can see this storm system is bringing lots of snowfall to areas out to our west and our northwest. It almost looks as though this snow is headed our direction. However, as the center of the storm continues to propagate northeastward, a lot of this snowfall that now we're seeing move through Iowa is actually going to lift northward as well. So most of this snow should miss us to the north, but meanwhile it's bringing blizzard conditions to to a big area out to our west and northwest. You can see these blizzard warnings indicated by the red area here. Otherwise, this tan color here is all wind advisories, so you can see this storm is having a very big influence on a very large portion of the country. So now as we head on through the evening and into the overnight, there's a slight chance we could see a few light isolated flurries through the night, and we're going to hang on to this chance through most of tomorrow as well. Otherwise, just going to see some mostly cloudy skies overhead for our Thursday. Now as we head on into Friday, a lot of this cloud cover is going to clear out, so we'll be waking up to lots of sunshine on Christmas morning before a few more clouds move in just in time for the afternoon. Temperatures tonight going to fall all the way down to the lower teens. That slight chance for a few light flurries here and there. We're going to see wind chills drop below zero through the night. Sub-zero wind chills going to hang with us through most of tomorrow as well. Highs only in the teens throughout most of the state line, but we are in the 20s for Christmas Day on Friday. Wind chills, though, likely going to be down in the teens and single digits before 30s return to the state line for the weekend. Temperatures being pretty seasonable then for the first half of next week. Let's have a look at our first one, interactive radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We had a little bit of rain come through earlier. That has now moved off to our east. You can see some snow, though, moving in from the west. That will bring us a chance for a few light flurries here as we move on through the night. Temperature is also plummeting through the night. We're already down in the 30s and lower 40s. They will continue to fall until they bottom out in the lower teens overnight tonight. We're not going to warm up much from there heading on through tomorrow. Also see just a slight chance for a little bit of snow through the day. Wind chills likely going to be below zero through the day tomorrow. Temperatures warming slightly for Christmas, getting into the lower 20s. We're going to hang on to those sub-zero and single-digit wind chills, though, likely through the holiday. Then temperatures back up into the 30s for the weekend.
That blue is really creeping in there on your radar. Kevin, thanks. Before we leave you, here is another blast from the past. The clip from our Sounds of the Holidays Best Of series goes back to 2017. Here's the Byron High School Choir with Mary Did You Know? Stay safe. Gloria.